In the heart of Tuscany, Italy, nestled among rolling vineyards and picturesque landscapes, stands an old, abandoned mansion known as Villa Della Morte. The name translates to House of Death, a fitting title given its dark and terrifying history. The villa has been the subject of countless rumors and ghost stories, with locals refusing to go near it, especially after sunset. The story begins in the early 18th century when the wealthy Conti family acquired the villa. Count Alessandro Conti was a man known for his ambition and cruelty. He was obsessed with the idea of immortality and spent a fortune on alchemists and mystics who promised him the secret to eternal life. However, when none could deliver on their promises, he turned to darker, more forbidden practices. In the basement of the villa, Count Alessandro built a secret chamber, a place where he performed gruesome rituals and human sacrifices. The locals began to notice strange occurrences, livestock disappearing, eerie lights emanating from the villa at odd hours, and chilling screams echoing through the night. Despite the growing fear, no one dared confront the Count. One fateful night, the Count's wife Isabella discovered his terrible secret. Horrified and heartbroken, she confronted him, pleading with him to stop his dark practices. In a fit of rage, Count Alessandro murdered Isabella. He sealed her body within the walls of the secret chamber. Her death marked the beginning of the villa's curse. Shortly after Isabella's murder, the Count's health began to deteriorate. He became gaunt and paranoid. He claimed to see Isabella's ghost haunting the villa. Servants reported hearing her wails and seeing her apparition wandering the halls. Her face twisted in sorrow and rage. The Count's madness grew until one night, he disappeared. Over the centuries, several families attempted to inhabit Villa Della Morte, but none stayed for long. Each family reported strange occurrences, objects moving on their own cold spots, and the overwhelming sense of being watched. Some even claimed to have seen the ghost of Isabella. Still searching for justice, the villa gained a reputation as a place of evil, and it was eventually left to decay. In modern times, the villa attracted the interest of paranormal investigators. One such group, led by a determined investigator named Marco Rossi, decided to spend a week in the villa to document the paranormal activity. Marco was a skeptic, convinced that the stories were exaggerated. Armed with cameras, recording equipment, and a team of investigators, Marco entered the villa. The first few days were uneventful, with only minor disturbances that could be easily dismissed. However, on the fourth night, everything changed. The team heard a woman's anguished cries coming from the basement. Marco, still skeptical, led the group to investigate. In the basement, they discovered the entrance to the secret chamber. As they entered, the temperature dropped drastically, and a feeling of dread filled the air. The walls seemed to pulse with a dark energy, and the cries grew louder. Suddenly, the ghost of Isabella appeared before them. She pointed to a section of the wall and then vanished. Marco, his skepticism waning, instructed his team to break through the wall. Behind it, they found Isabella's skeletal remains, along with the remnants of the Count's gruesome experiments. As they documented the discovery, a cold wind swept through the chamber, and the lights flickered. The team felt an overwhelming presence of malevolence, as if the villa itself were alive and angry.